This is gonna be probably the first time I actually record a short video that I say it's gonna be real quick, but didn't get a video in loading this up Sunday morning, so who knows who's even gonna see it. Uh, yeah, I was a little busy this weekend. Let's see, what day would it have been? Was it on a Friday? On Thursday, my wife and I had our first baby, so that was exciting. But priorities. Got to keep my priorities in check here. I got 4 locks this week. Sorry about the beeping. I got 4 locks this week. First up, Jets at Seahawks. I mean, forgive me, I'm not up to date on my news for the week, but I don't understand. The Seahawks have played really poorly. Jets have actually covered a few spreads lately. I want to say like 2 of the last 3, but not quite sure. But Jets plus 15 again, at Seattle with the way Seattle's been playing lately. I'll take the Jets. Crazy thing to say, but I'll take Jets in 15 points and let's see what happens. Colts at Raiders. Raiders just apparently they can only play well against the Buccaneers and the Chiefs. Just some really inconsistent stuff from them. So I'll take the Colts -3 at Raiders. Packers at Lions is my next lock. Packers -8.5. I mean, there just isn't enough going on the Lions side of the ball. Their defense is, bottom 10 in the league. Packers with Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones should have no problem scoring points. Packers defense isn't great, but the Lions offense, Matt Stafford's good, but he's got no help catching the ball. And I don't even know if DeAndre Swift is healthy. Who knows? But I mean, maybe they'll be able to run the ball okay. Packers defense is pretty soft against the run, but they won't be able to keep up with Aaron Rodgers doing it with that strategy. So I'll take the Packers -8.5. Although that is a lot of points. And then the last game I got as a lock is 49ers -3. Washington goes to 49ers. And people got real hot on the 49ers last week. For some reason, they became the favorites playing Buffalo, even though, they still are down Kittle, down a lot of defensive linemen, down their starting quarterback. They got Nick Mullins in there. And somehow, 49ers shifted to favorites against the Bills in their Arizona state, where they're playing in Arizona. And I didn't get that. I took the Bills. Bills beat them. This week, I feel like people have shifted a little bit because the Washington team just upset the Steelers, the undefeated Steelers. But these are different teams, and although the Washington D-line is going to be tough, their defense is good. Kyle Shanahan wants to run the ball, so they're going to have a hard time doing it. But they still got Ayuk, they still got Debo. Shanahan's not a dummy. He's going to do some creative things this week, and Nick Mullins has a serviceable enough arm to get things done, I think. So I'll take 49ers -3. It could end up being a close game just because, there's pretty solid defenses there. But, yeah, I got to give the nod to Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers and just some of the talent they have as compared to the Washington team. That's all I got for Tier 1 stuff. I think I want to mention Falcons at Chargers, which is a pick'em game. I mean, these are two teams, man, what do you do with them? If you've been betting these teams at all, I just think it's so appropriate that it's a pick'em, and I don't want to pick. It's crazy. That's an avoid for me somehow. I like, cheering for Justin Herbert and stuff, but man, the Chargers just never come through for you. I'm a Vikings fan, so you'd think I'd be able to relate, but man, it somehow feels like even worse watching the Chargers this year. And I'm not going to go through all the games. Forgive me. Chiefs at Dolphins. I'll take the Chiefs -7. Although the Dolphins' defense is pretty good, they're pretty good on special teams. I just think the Tua offense is not potent enough to keep up with Patrick Mahomes. Even though the Chiefs have not been blowing teams out, but if any game with them is going to has a very high likelihood of devolving into a shootout, and Tua is not going to be able to keep up with Patrick Mahomes. So I'll take Chiefs -7. Broncos at Panthers. Broncos. I'm on the Broncos plus 3.5, which I don't know. AJ Bouye just got popped for PEDs, so he will not play, and he's actually a big reason I feel like that the Broncos have played pretty well last couple games. Their defense really stepping up, so they're losing him. But I can't fully discredit how good they've looked just kind of on defense and how competitive they've been. So and like Drew Lock should have a decent complement of weapons. Panthers side of the ball, you got Teddy, you got Christian McCaffrey. You got some talented wide receivers, but they lost DJ Moore, so it's like Curtis Samuel and Robbie Anderson. I don't know. I just think the Broncos just have a little bit more in the tank. I'll take them plus the 3.5 points. Texans at Bears. I'll take Texans minus 1.5. Just take the better quarterback here. No Will Fuller. That's going to hurt. And people starting Deshaun Watson in fantasy, I think that's a bad idea. I mean, he'll have the volume just because I don't think the Texans will be able to run on that Bears defense. But this, I don't know. I'm expecting I do think the Texans defense is not great, but their defensive line is okay, and that Bears offensive line is trash. So what I'm expecting terrible run games. I don't think the Bears will be able to move the ball on the ground at all, and I don't think the Texans will be able to move the ball on the ground at all. So now you're trying to pass the ball, and I just think Deshaun Watson, even down some talent, is the guy you got to take when he's showing down against Mitchell Trubisky. Cardinals at Giants. The Cardinals have been on a slide, and the Giants have played better. And Joe Judge, I feel like, has brought his team. They play well kind of in all phases. I mean, the defense has played better than people, I think, expected. The special teams, I think, has been good, at least from what I've seen. And then the offense has been the most suspect. But with Wayne Gallman going a little bit and Colt McCoy being a competent backup, I don't know. I don't know which side of the argument I'm making anymore. But I just think Cardinals have more talent on the offensive side of the ball. We'll be able to score some points. I'll take the Cardinals minus 3. The Giants, they played a little bit better lately, but they're still a bad football team. Cowboys at Bengals. Speaking of bad football teams, I got to take Andy Dalton in the revenge game here. He's got just more talent, at wide receiver. He's a better quarterback than whatever they got going on in the Bengals. I guess the Bengals do have some talented wide receivers, but they've been kind of getting lucky the last couple weeks. Like they got a punt return, 2 weeks ago, punt return touchdown. And then this past week, they got a long Tyler Boyd touchdown, but I don't know. The gig's got to be up at some point. Cowboys defense is bad, but I mean Zeke and Amari Cooper and Gallup and CeeDee Lamb. Did he get hurt? Can't remember. But I'll take the Cowboys anyway. Dalton, revenge game, getting after it. The way he was treated at Cincinnati. That's his house. He hasn't given it up yet. Well, only because Joe Burrow's hurt. Titans at Jags. Jags are a bad football team. Titans need a win. Titans don't like to win games close. So this minus 7.5 Titans, iffy for me. But this just reads as a what's his name? Sorry, I'm not running on a lot of sleep. The big Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's going to get it going. Tannehill, A.J. Brown. I think they'll be able to score some points against the bad Jags D. And Titans D has been suspect, but I think they'll show up to play here against Jacksonville and make Glennon struggle. So I'll take the Titans minus 7.5. What haven't I covered? Vikings at Bucks. I think smart money is taking the Bucks minus 7 just because they match up really well against the Vikings. The Vikings defense is not solid, and the Bucks have a really good run-stopping D-line. But I don't know. The Vikings are kind of playing with free money. No one kind of expected them to be in this game. And I think the Bucks are kind of an average team, just the way they played inconsistently. And if I'm going to talk like a fan here for a bit, if the Vikings can get some pressure up the middle on the Buccaneers' suspect offensive line, and if they can get Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook going with some screens and get around that defensive line a little bit. Kirk's been playing so well these last like 5-6 games. I don't know. I think it's gonna be fun to watch the Vikes. So I think if the Bucks were a more consistent team, they match up really well and should kill the Vikings. But I don't know. I like the Vikes today for some reason. They've disappointed the last 2 weeks against some bad teams, but they just kind of play with their opponent a lot. So I'll take the Vikes +7. I'm not going to bet it because I'm a fan. But anyway, last couple games here. Saints at Eagles. Nothing to say here. Take the Saints -7.5. Eagles defense is better than people are acting lately, but so that could cause problems. But their offense is just so bad. They're going to start Jalen Hurts. I think that's going to be a disaster. Wentz has played really poorly, but rookie Jalen Hurts I don't think is going to play well enough to really elevate all the problems that are going on in that offensive line and that wide receiver room. Steelers at Bills. When they give you a 12-1 team as a 2-point underdog, take it every time. I mean, the Steelers have struggled a bit lately, but I think their defense is going to get pressure on Josh Allen, and I think hopefully their offense, the wide receivers, stop dropping the ball. I mean, if it was Big Ben not playing well or like the offensive line not playing well, I'd be like way more concerned. But the run game has been shitty, but it's been shitty all year, and the wide receivers have been dropping passes. I don't think the wide receivers and Eric Ebron dropping passes is going to continue. Fingers crossed. So I will take the talent and the dominance of that Steelers defense, and we'll go Steelers +2. And then last game, this must be the Monday night game, Ravens at Browns. Man, the Ravens killed the Browns earlier this year, but this is a different Browns team for sure, and it is a different Ravens team. Man, the Ravens have just not been inspiring in their last couple games. I know they blew out a bad team last week, and they still should have the pieces on defense to be tough. But man, their offense has just been nothing like last year, and the Browns actually have they can get some pressure. Hopefully, they can try to stop the run, but I don't know. I'll just take the Browns +3. I just have some belief in Kyle Shanahan and the way that Browns offense has been looking, and Nick Chubb is a really good running back. All right, so apologies for the portrait view cell phone cam. Less rationale than usual, but you'll have to understand. Got another player added to the roster here. Good luck on all your bets. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments, or follow me on Twitter at FavoriteFade. Thanks.